All right, just Antoine here, and we're going to go ahead and get started. We're excited about being here, and we're just going to move forward. All right, so this is a Drulix vision revealing, and we are excited to be able to share this vision that God has given us to move to the next level and to do things differently. I'm a firm believer if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And so we want to get to a point where we are part of the solution. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here for those that are on the Zoom meeting, or we'll be getting a link from it. All right, so we're going to start from the beginning. This is day 4. So we've been going over our ecosystem and Adruilux, the freedom to love. And it's a pathway to loving, first of all, freeing yourself to love, right? And so when you have to, first you got to be free. And then once you're free, then you can learn how to love. You can move through that process of learning how to love. If you are bound up, right? If you hold on to a lot of stuff, whether it's good or bad, you hold on to stuff. What happens is it bottles you up from freely living, right? Living your best life. It'll bottle you up from living your best life. And so, what we're going to do, we're going to create this ecosystem that will help people live and take their quality of living to the next level. And so we are excited about that. We're excited about that opportunity to help people advance. So we in day 4, like I said, and we're going to be looking at education. And so I'm going to give you a little bit about myself. My name is Antoine Turner, and I got God has just really been working on me, right? He's been really ministering to me and helping me get to a place where I'm free myself. Right? And I'm still in the process, but I've come a long way. And so I'm very grateful to have come a long way and to be where I'm at. And I realize that if it wasn't for the grace of God, I wouldn't be here. But He's also put the philanthropy spirit upon me to help His people. Okay. And so I know that our current system that we're in doesn't do us justice. And that's from, um, the upper class to the lower class. Of course, the lower class gets the blunt end of everything, but there are still some things that the upper class are subjected to um, if they're not aware, right? But most of them are aware. So that's the key. Being aware. When you're aware, you can change things, right? When you have options and you know that things are available for you, then you can make some adjustments. And so that's one of the things that we want to do is help people realize that they can make some adjustments and they don't have to just continue to live a superb life, a life that is not, I guess, meaningful, right? And they can move from being oppressed and being expressive and realizing that they can go to the next level in life and there's no limits to where they can go. And so we'll be talking about education, but I'm gonna just give you a brief rundown of what we're what we all what we're talking about here. Keep my screen moving. technology is great when it works, right? All right. So, um, just a little bit about myself. I got my bachelor's from Iowa State University in elementary education and my master's from Stephen F. Austin. I've been a licensed minister since 1998. I got called in 1998 and I got ordained, I believe it was in 2006. I started prison ministry in 1996 and did education for 18 years. And so mostly in elementary education and did some administrative works as well. And so I've owned several companies, but my last stint was a security company for 9 years. And I still currently have a security training system, academy. So, and I'm coaching and coaching people personally and with their businesses as well. So I do that as well. A business coach, personal coach, personal development coach. And so we're excited about that. All right. So I've been involved with people ministering and helping and mentoring and coaching for a long time, right? I ain't just started yesterday. So I've been doing it for a long time on a consistent basis. And I thank God for just using me, just using me. And so I believe that he is taking me now to this next level and giving me a mandate to uh, put this platform where people can thrive on this platform, right? Build a platform that they can thrive on, and they don't have to just um, be subservient to the system that exists right now. So we're going to create a new ecosystem where you can thrive and you really have people that care about you and want to see what's best for you, right? And so that love can be demonstrated on the whole ecosystem. And that's what our goal is to put the spirit of love on the whole system, on the whole ecosystem. So wherever you come in onto the system, that you feel the love and the care and the concern that um, that's throughout the system. So I feel that we must be the change that we're wanting and not expect it to come from another source. Because if it could have come from another source, I believe it would have already came from another source. And so we got to be the change instead of expecting somebody else to step up. We got to step up. And so part of me revealing this vision is to recruit people to help and join the cause to create this ecosystem because I can't do it by myself. I do have the vision, but you can only go and you only can go as far as your team, not your dream, right? And so we definitely have to move on from there. And so we're going to be covering 7 sectors, and this is day 4. So we're on the third sector. We gave the overview on the first one, and I've made those available. Well, still got to make a couple more available on our website, adruilux.com, and so you can get those replays. You can replay over there. So when we're talking about the 7 sectors, that means that we're going to basically create where our ecosystem is covering all bases, right? We're going to have everything that a person will need. Looking at Maslow hierarchy of needs and making sure that we're meeting people where they are and then taking them to another level. And we know that the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing, but expect a different result. And so we got to change up the game, right? And so when I saw blockchain technology, I saw that this could be a game changer. This can take us to another level. And so I started learning about it, and the technology is still growing. It's still in its I guess I don't know if it's in its infancy stage, but it's still growing, and we have an opportunity, excuse me, to get on board and help it grow even faster. right? And push it further. And so one of the books that I've been reading, I've been on a personal development journey for the last 3 years, and God told me He was going to teach me how to process deeper, and so he's he showed me that how He wanted me to process deeper is by reading books, right? Building my capacity to learn and to understand, right? And so then in turn will process things from a different level because my horizon and my mindset has expanded. And so one of the books I read was Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. And I would encourage everybody to read that book. And it really showed me how things came about, right? I always felt the systemic racism, but I never knew how it came about. Of course, we know slavery and this, that, and the other, but he really breaks it down and how it's been sustained and how it's why it's still in existence today. And it's really about economics. And if you don't realize that, then you're fighting the wrong battle. If it's it's not just the color of skin, but it's about economics, right? And they use the color of skin to help their cause, but it's really about, hey, I want to keep the money in my hand, and what's the best way to do that, and who's the threat, okay, and how can we neutralize the threat? And so we have to do the same thing. We got to see what's going on, who's the threat, and how can we eliminate the threat or take the vices off where they don't affect us, right? We don't want to hurt anybody, okay, because we're operating in love, but we don't want to be bound either, right? So we want to be able to set up boundaries, uh, effective boundaries, so people can know we can place people in the right position, right, so that they can only influence us where we want to be influenced, and uh, we just won't roll over and accept everything that we're given, right? Because we have options, and a lot of times right now, how we feel we don't have options. Well, this revolution is where you can realize that you have options. You have options, and so the seven sectors that we've been covering is the first day we excuse me, the first sector that we covered was media, and the second is government. And today we're going to be covering education. And tomorrow we'll be doing economy, and then family, celebration, and which is arts and entertainment, and then religion. Okay. We say the best for last, right? And so uh, those seven sectors we'll be talking about in great detail on how we can um, impact our current state of living. So that's what it's really about. How can we impact and change our current state of living so that we can thrive instead of just trying to survive, just existing? All right. So in media, we want to control the narrative. We want to have our ecosystem be filled with knowledge that's true, right? Telling the truth. And we don't want to continue to be hoodwinked by the media and their propaganda. So we want to have our own media outlet. And so we are excited that we can do that. Um, we can have our own news networks if we have to cover negative things, because we know bad things happen to good people, right? But we're going to give solutions on how we can change that, you know. So if we're covering something, an incident that's happened, we're going to say, hey, this is how you can best prevent this from happening to you. These are some of the underlying causes of why these things are happening. And so we're gonna also publish positive things as well, being good in the hood, right? The good that's in the hood, what's going on, and that people aren't talking about, that the media uh, is not talking about. So that's not being published. We're going to make sure that we're publishing those things. All right, so we're talking about our ecosystem called Adruilux, and we want to invite people to come on and join us at adruilux.com and partner with us with their business and learn how we can create a change that we want. So we're going to be having radio and podcasts. We'll probably be starting a Drulix podcast real soon in the next coming upcoming weeks and start. And so if you have a podcast and you invite us on to talk, we would love to have a conversation. We don't mind talking about this because this is our passion, right? We know that it'll work, but we just need people to get involved and make it happen, bring it to fruition. And so that's our endeavor. And so we're also going to have social networks. We're not going to come off the social media that we're on, but we're going to be pulling people off of those social media platforms and saying, "Hey, come join us," and then send them back off into those social media platforms and bring others in. Like, "Hey, this is what we're doing." We'll be advertising and things like that. Hashtags, hashtag Drulix, hashtag ecosystem, hashtag change, right? And so that's what we're all about. And so we talked a little bit on yesterday about government, and we need a government that truly cares. We have an opportunity to create our own government. Our government that's within our ecosystem will make sure that people are taken care of. We can create our own government body so that we know that we're really doing what's right by the people and that we're being led by love. Okay. And the people that's in the ecosystem and the companies in the ecosystem and everything that is going on and the partnerships and the collaborations that we do all have a part in that ecosystem or can join in, right? So we're going to be reaching out to other ecosystems and saying, hey, how can we partner? If they have the same type of vision or mindset that we have, because we don't think that we're the only one that is out here doing this, but it's not enough, and we gotta come together, right? It's not enough collaboration, it's not enough camaraderie, and so we gotta galvanize those with a like mind that really want to change the world and turn the world upside down. And so that's what we're all about. And so um, we're gonna make sure that we're educated by our current system that we live in. So if we're living in America or we living in Africa and Nigeria, wherever we're living, we want to make sure that we have an opportunity to get engaged and get involved with their government system. And so, because if you're educated, if you're aware of what's going on, you can start making some changes, right? And so, a lot of us, including myself, don't have a great idea of what's going on with politics and how everything works from the lower level, city level, community level to the White House, right? But we can start learning about those things, educating each other about that, and making sure people in our society know how to uh, infiltrate those arenas and then start making some real change. Because one of the things I felt that if we started really making change without having an ecosystem that we have that we're creating, then they'll start shutting us down because they're our only source. So we got to create our own source so that we won't be shut down, and a global source, right? And one thing about blockchain is decentralized, no government controls. So you can use this technology and and really do great things all globally, and nobody can stop it. Of course, they're trying to put things in place right now to keep control. But if we get on it at this phase of it, I believe that we can make some major moves. And so that's why I'm employing you all to join me in this revolution so that we can turn the world upside down and we can leave a legacy for our children and our children's children. All right. In our government, we want to convict, but when I say convict, I'm talking about convince. We're going to teach people why this is a better way of life and not just condemning them, right? Versus condemning. We're going to show them like, hey, this is so there's going to be real rehabilitation going on, and it's going to be coming from a place of love instead of a place of, hey, how much money I can get out of you, right? You know, in America, they're tracking the third grade test scores and they are building prisons based on the third grade test scores. And so if they say, okay, we're going to, in 10, 15 years, they're going to all be hitting the street or even sooner, right? And so this is what we need to do. This is how many prisons we need. And and so instead of doing that, we want to be able to make a way so that we move our people forward and let them know, hey, this is what's going on. This is a way you can have a better life. Hey, this is let's put this filter in your house so that you don't have to be running to the doctor all the time because the hard water that you're using is killing you softly, right? And with our government, we'll be able to provide aid so that they can get those um, filters so they can put it on their system. And so I'm excited about it. So the government will also push out the vision for the ecosystem. And so they will make sure that there's a clarion call out and everything that's involved with the ecosystem is moving forward. And so I guess people are having trouble getting on um, my Zoom call, and I apologize for that, the technical difficulties that people may be having with my Zoom link. I'm gonna try to rectify that before tomorrow, but we're working out the glitches. We're working out the glitches as we go, but we're gonna keep on going. Our government is going to also be with healthcare and wellness and making sure that our healthcare system is preventive, right? And it's holistic and it has preventive care. I said preventive care, but not a whole yeah, holistic care. So that's what I was looking for, holistic. And so natural remedies for our problems, right? And a lot of times it's what we eat and what we consume that's killing us, right? And that the USDA approved and that the FDA approved and all this stuff is we're intaking is harming us. And so we're gonna really care for our people and our ecosystem. So today we're going to be focusing on education. And with education, we say that children are our future. However, we don't in, we invest more in other things than our children. We invest in prisons rather than our children. And so we want to help, we want to create a educational system that we really pour into our kids. And we may not take them out of the mainstream schools. If we can get them out of mainstream schools, we can, but we can offer support to those that are will remain in the mainstream schools, right? So we'll have our own education system, but we'll constantly be reaching out to those that are not engaged and involved in our ecosystem because we want our ecosystem to grow. The more people that we have using our ecosystem at whatever level, the more powerful we become and the more valuable we become. And so we're going to constantly be reaching out in all areas trying to get people in. So if that's offering free tutoring, right? Offering Saturday classes, Saturday school for those that are falling behind or just want to learn something different, something new that they're not being taught in the schools. We want to do that. Just think about it. If we start talking to our kids about being world changers and leaders of the free world when they're 3, and we start developing their mindset for greatness when they're real little at a young impressionable age, we can poise them to do exactly that and really take off. And so, uh, being in education, this is really pulls at my heartstring because I realize that if we can get our children, what's up, Chef? If we can get our children to believe that they can, if we can if we can get them to believe that they can and the possibility is available for them, we can move them farther faster. Okay. And so we want to be able to pour into them in all kinds of ways. So we get to create or adopt a systematic approach um, to educating our people, our kids. And when I say kids, we're going to be going from the babies all the way up to adults, right? Higher education. And then we're going to have business education, right? We're going to use the metaverse as a part of our educational system. So they can go on the metaverse 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and join in and get educated, right? And we'll have people from around the world, maybe teachers that's teaching them at that hour, being live. They can jump into a live class because our educational system is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because we're going to be all over the globe with our ecosystem. And so, and if not, we'll just employ people from all over the globe to be into our ecosystem, teaching our kids, using our curriculum. So whatever we have to do by whatever means necessary, we're going to get it done. And so I remember one time I was in the metaverse and I was talking to somebody from where was she? She was from Asia and she was looking for a content designer or something like that, clothing designer. And if I knew how to design clothes, I would have been right there. I could have got a job. But just meeting, bumping into people in the metaverse and talking and having a conversation and making friends all across the globe. That's the potential. And then giving them an opportunity to come into our ecosystem. And once if the metaverse, we have a metaverse section that's open to the world, they'll be coming on, and then we get them involved, and they know that hey, if they put their money into this ecosystem, that it's gonna increase. Just think about and I've been saying this for the last few days. When Bitcoin first came out, this guy he brought a pizza for 2 Bitcoins, and now that pizza is worth over $120,000. Those 2 Bitcoins, and so we realize that we have that potential in creating our ecosystem. That the more usage and the more people that are involved and engaged in our ecosystem, the value of it goes up. It continues to increase. And so the time that you invest in a Adruilux ecosystem, the time and talent and treasure that you invest in it will also help you increase your revenues. And it may not be overnight, but you'll be building something for your kids' kids to be involved in. And I'm looking for, I like David said, he said, I believe to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And I believe to see some good things come out of this ecosystem before I exit out of here. And so I'm endeavoring every day to make progress and share the vision and talk to people and get on platforms. So if you know people that have podcasts, I'm willing to go on podcasts. I'm willing to jump on lives with people. It don't matter if they talking about change or they want to talk about change. I want to be there and I want to be sharing this information. And I want to be engaging people in. And then, if you can share this, that will go a long way. If you can share this link, this video, to friends and things of that nature, and put hashtag Adruilux into your messages and things of that nature. Hey, we're building something for us that will last. That will last. So and we're going to be a leader in technology. We know technology is where it's at. And so we're going to be teaching our kids from a young age, which they're learning. They learn fast, right? I had a 3-year-old grandson, and he showed me how to take my iPad and project it to the TV. This was several years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, And so kids are teaching adults how to use social media and to use technology. And so we're going to let them explore and take off. And the thing is, I know they're going to supersede my vision of this ecosystem, and I'm welcoming that. It's like, hey, yeah, this system is created so that y'all can excel and do whatever you want to do, of course, out of love. It's got to benefit people. If it's not benefiting people, it don't need to be on the Drulix platform. So that's what we're all about. We're going to leadership development, starting at a young age. Like you're a king, you're a queen. You can have a kingdom. You can have a kingdom as a queen as well. You can lead stuff. You can take authority. You can have dominion. And so just developing their mindset and giving them ways and inspiring them to continue to move forward and advance their lifestyle. We're going to teach them preventive about health and wellness, preventive measures, and we're going to be creating our own doctors. We're going to be creating our own lawyers. We're going to be creating our own technicians, right? Because our education system is going to be de- um, systematically designed to put our people in these places what we need to meet our needs of the ecosystem. And so that's what it's all about. And then tomorrow we're going to be talking about the economy. I'm super excited about this because we have an opportunity to have our own currency and be able to make it more valuable the more people use it, right? And so um, I don't know if we're going to name it. We may name it a Drulix as the coin. So let me tell you the difference. There's a difference between a coin and a token. Coin, if it's a coin and it's cryptocurrency and it's a coin, that means it has its own blockchain. Like Bitcoin has its own blockchain. It's a coin, and but there are several tokens on that blockchain. Okay, and so if it's a token, that means that it's utilizing somebody else's blockchain. And we may start off like that. We may not start off. We may start off on Ethereum, and use their blockchain. and then branch off once we build momentum, right? And we can change our currency, and it'll all be the same. And the one thing about blockchains, when you interlink with another blockchain, it becomes stronger. The two become stronger. And that's the whole concept. And that's why I like it. It's very transparent, and you can really make some moves. You can really build your economy. And where our economy is going right now is not looking good. The dollar, some people say, is dead. Some people say it's on its way to die. Right now, China is linking up with other countries to make their own currency, to put the dollar and make sure it's thumped out. Okay. And so we need to position ourselves that we don't take a fall when that happens, if and when it happens. And some people say it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And so we want to be in a place, and we want to position ourselves so that we don't will be affected, but we won't go under, right? Because we have another system to operate on. So that's why we're creating it. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow. And then the next day, which will be Friday, we'll talk about the family and helping people have a functional family instead of a dysfunctional family, and getting to the root of people's problems. And why are you this way? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And if there's any sector that you are particularly interested in, definitely, and you have some questions and things of that nature. And before we close, we're gonna ask for any questions. So if you have any questions about our ecosystem, you can definitely reach out to me. You can ask your questions on this platform, or the platform that you're on. All right. Then we're going to talk about celebrations, which is arts and entertainment. And we got to realize that our people are being exploited, right? Just think of all the money that's been made with our music, and how that a lot of our artists that made a lot of money don't have the money now, or was having trouble getting the money, or never had the money, but other people prospered off of it. Just think about our sports and entertainment. They're making 40, 50, 70, 120 million dollars a season. That's unheard of. But just think, if they're making that much, what about the owners of the business? So if they're able to pay that much, they're making triple off of that, at least double off of what they're playing the paying the players. And so then I talked about it yesterday. Then they link the players up with their financial advisors and tell them whether to invest their money and things of that nature. And I like LeBron James. He said, "No, I got my own financial advisor. We'll take it from here. You just make sure the check hits my account, right?" We got Shaquille O'Neal doing marvelous things with his finances, right? And so, and probably plenty more others. And so when we have our own, we can control it. And when we're educated, we can control it. When we're aware, if you're not aware, you can't change. And a lot of us are walking around doing things as zombies because we're not aware. We're just not aware of what's going on. We've been fed a lie and we believed a lie. And we're not putting nobody down, but we're just going to meet them where they are and help them on board Adruilux at whatever level they're on. And so that's what we're going to do. And I'm excited. And I don't know how all that is, how it's all going to play out, but I got the overall view of it. And I have a structure to make sure that love is the core of everything that goes on in this company, in this ecosystem. And so we're going to put it all together in a package. And I want your expertise as well. I need you. I need you to join on and bring your time, talent, and treasure to make this work. Then we're going to talk about religion. And with religion, we're talking about leading with love. Hey, I want love to be exude every. I hope even tonight, I hope you feel the love that I have in my heart for people. And I don't hate anybody. I don't like the system, but I don't hate the people. I just need to change the system. Or if I don't change the system, I need to have another system that I can operate on so I don't be subjected to the system. And so that's what we're talking about, right? But we do want to change the system, okay? But we when we start making changes in the system, we don't want them to try to shut us down because we're gonna have our own economy that we're operating on. Hallelujah. So we're gonna be teaching the principles of life and how you can elevate by living by spiritual truths and knowing spiritual truths. And so that'll be about religion. So how you can be a part of this revolution is join as a member. Adruilux.com, join as a member. Um, invite others to join. Put it on your social media networks, right? Invite others when I send a flyer out or whatever I'm doing. And then hopefully you'll start doing some stuff. Once you join in, I'm not going to be the only voice of Adruilux. We're all going to be the voice of the Adruilux. If we have a company, we bring our company on board and they'll be a part of Adruilux. And you know, if you join this ecosystem, you get a discount because when I invite people to join the ecosystem and I give them a discount, guess what? It raises my value of what I've invested in Adruilix because I got more people utilizing it. So the more people we have utilizing our ecosystem, the more valuable it becomes. And so the times, treasure, and talents that you put in right now, it goes towards that goal. And so nothing is lost. Everything is a gain. But it's what we make it. We gotta be committed to doing it, right? And just join the team, whatever level you want to come in on. We got a lot of work to do. As you see, we just talked about 7 sectors, right? And then we have uh, hierarchy, that business structure that you can join in those business structures and on those levels at whatever place you want to help out. So if that's in accounting or if it's in marketing, if it's in advertising, if it's in education, you'll be able to do all that. And it will go far and faster the more people we have in it. All right. So in closing, I'm going to continue to break down the rest of the sectors in the next 4 days, and you're invited to attend every one of them and invite some friends. And we're passionate about change, and we want to be that change agent, right? We want our children, and our children's children to be able to use this um, ecosystem and be able to thrive in it and be able to invest in it and know that hey, it's not going anywhere. And so that's what we want to do. Are there any questions? You can type them in the chat. If you got a question, I'm gonna see what questions you might have. If you have any questions before we go, we're gonna close it down. But yes, we want you to be a part of it. We want you to join in, and we're going. We're going to continue to go. We're going to continue to thrive. And so just click on this recording if you're just joining late. Click on the recording. If you like what you're hearing, share it with somebody. Say, hey, check this out. I think this will be good for you. You need to hear this information. Just share it with as many people as you can. Well, if you don't have any questions, I'm gonna sign off. I still got a busy night ahead of me, and I'm going to help out with some young people in high school and middle age students. And so I'm all about giving and making a change and being a change. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. So this is at my heart, and I'm not playing around. I've been doing it for a long time. I've been helping people for a long time, giving of my time, talent, and treasure for a long time. So I'm not asking you to do anything that I'm not doing and haven't been doing. So y'all be blessed, and we'll see you at the top. Bye for now.